Welcome to The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun. Oh my gosh, so good to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw you over the weekend when you felt better.
Yeah.
But when we don't meet up for 2 weeks,
I know.
I am so thrown off.
It's terrible.
Well, because on Sundays I sit and I post,
Yeah.
schedule everything, of what I'm going to talk about. And if we don't meet for the week,
Yeah.
I'm at a loss.
Yeah.
So I look up national holidays and I look up all that kind of stuff because I'm like, well, I don't know what to talk about because I didn't get to see you. But I told you a couple weeks ago, and I even posted about it, I want to get back to our roots here.
Yes.
We were doing a lot of what I would call like education pieces, like
I don't know
trends, and we were
like
educating the people.
The fountain of useless knowledge
That.
that we are.
I was just trying to make it sound better than it was. And I thought, you know what? Let's go back to our stories that
Yeah.
everybody loves.
Yeah.
First of all, Feed Spot. I think I may have shared that with you today. I shared a couple with you today just because I know sometimes, from Facebook and Instagram, you
Yes.
don't get the notifications
Yes.
like I do. And we're still on their top 20
Really?
of all retail podcasts on the planet.
We're amazing. We're basically famous.
So you'll have to take a look at our page because everyone's
Yeah.
celebrating with
Yeah.
us. We're number 17 right now. I think we might have been like 16 a couple months ago. I will take it as long as we're in the top 20
Yeah.
because there's hundreds of them.
Right.
It just keeps going and keeps going, and we just seem to be on the top there. So
It's amazing.
I know, it's so exciting. And then the one that I shared with you, which I didn't know, someone shared that with me and sent a message and said, "Did you see this article on Craig
Yes.
from Americano Pasta Bar?"
Yes.
And it says Americano on the airwaves.
Yes.
And check it out. I had no idea that it
That's
was
so
in
awesome.
their, and it's called Real Woodstock. It's
Yeah.
their online newspaper.
Nice.
So I shared that too. I thought that was cool.
Very exciting.
I love when that kind of stuff rolls
know,
in.
I
guess
know.
I need to Google us more, but not Google our stuff. Like if you just type in The Clopen Effect on Google, it's all of our stuff.
Yes.
You'll get Apple, Spotify, Audible, all of that comes in. But I guess I got to go on to page 2 of Google.
Okay.
Because that's when you see like sometimes Richmond or Woodstock or
somebody else
somewhere in
mentioned
McHenry
us.
County,
Yeah.
someone will mention us. And that's, I think, probably where they found us.
Yeah.
On the Real Woodstock, which I think is just so cool that we get
That
mentioned.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, fun.
Funny thing.
He probably had so much fun with us. He told all the news people, like, make sure you listen and post about it because it's all about me.
He was a good guest.
Amazing.
He was fun.
All of our guests are great.
I know. I do have fun when we have guests on. We need to get some guests on.
So I was taking a look at like our analytics under we have Captivate as our website and our host, and really like them. They're from the UK. And in the last 28 days, our listeners have increased 42%. We're
That
in
is
the green.
crazy.
Last 90 days, we've increased 78%.
I can't believe that.
And then the only reason why the last 7 days are down is because we just have the contest that's
Right.
going on, or the giveaway that's going on.
Yeah.
But that's gone.
Because I blew it.
No, because you were sick for the COVID number 4th time.
I think I'm up to 5 now.
Unbelievable.
No, I think I had the flu this time though. Yeah. And then Grandma's like, "What happened to the common cold?" I was like, I don't know.
I don't get that anymore.
That one is like nothing.
No.
We don't acknowledge the cold
Common
anymore.
colds are like, I can still work and I sneeze a couple
Yeah.
times. You're out for
Yeah.
like at least a full day.
I had a good sweat, I was sweating it
Unbelievable.
out.
So Sunday I was feeling pretty crappy.
Yeah.
Yesterday I took the day off.
Yeah.
My whole entire body was one ache.
Really?
One ache. Like I have never.
And you even went running this morning too.
I went
How do you
running
do
this
that?
morning, and today was a little bit better, but not great. Yesterday, it was even my fingertips, my hair. Have you ever
hell?
had where like, even if you like kind of like I wore a hat yesterday and I'm just
Yeah.
like everything hurt, even my hair hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was wild.
That is
So
crazy.
finally today, I was feeling a little bit better, but I've taken a couple Tylenol, and then I'm like, I just told Julia upstairs, I'm like, what if I because my thighs and everything are real achy, not like a normal runner's ache, like still like from yesterday.
Right.
So I ate a banana, and actually I'm already kind of starting to feel good. So I don't know if it was the
Really?
banana or the Tylenol I took
Yeah.
like a half an hour ago. Maybe I'm low on something.
Do
I
you
don't
ever
know.
think of the placebo effect?
Definitely.
Like, sorry guys, but when I get my period and I pop 2 Advil and it's like 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh yes, I already feel better.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's not, because it takes about an hour for any medicine.
But it's just knowing that medicine is on the way already like makes you start feeling better.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't know what, yesterday nothing was working no matter what. Like I took a Motrin every 8 hours. I took 2 Tylenol every 4 hours. Nothing.
Oh, that's terrible.
It didn't even relax me at all. And I was so uncomfortable that I was working on the podcast and I was doing a couple things at night and I had to get up every couple minutes because my body was just aching, sitting.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, it was wild. So I'm wondering if that was kind of a cold, kind of a mix of a few things.
Yeah.
But today is
you
definitely
had a busy weekend.
Better. Yeah, we had a busy weekend. Julia graduated on Saturday. She got her business degree. I know we talked about that when she was on.
I'm so proud of her.
And then Sunday we had cookie baking with the besties and Julia. So that was super, super fun. We had a great time. So maybe my body was just like, you're done.
I know Julia was like done on Sunday too.
Oh my gosh, the poor girl. She was like falling asleep at the
Yeah.
table. She had such a great day on Saturday. We had a nice family party on Saturday night. Everybody came and it was just a lot of fun. So
oh Lord. Luckily, like lately, and knock on wood, knock. I haven't had too many rude customers, but we're getting real close to Christmas.
We
and
are.
I can feel the tension building.
Yeah,
in
we're
the
about
stores.
10 days out or 9 days out?
Is it really only that much?
Well, for us recording, we're about 12 days out, but for Friday, it's only going to be like a week. So I found a couple articles during my research these last couple weeks because I was trying to figure out if we all get rude customers. The reason why I say that is because a few days ago, actually, it was just even yesterday. Yeah, yesterday Steve took me for a ride. We went to the World Market. I love that place.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we love looking during the holidays because they have such neat gifts to give.
Yeah.
And then we went to Fresh Market, that's right next to it.
Yeah.
And we get up there to the cashier and the guy says, "Wow, you guys just missed all the excitement." And Steve's like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "All our computers went down."
Oh God, that's the worst.
And Steve's like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah, didn't you hear everyone yelling and complaining?"
Oh
and we're
my
like,
God.
"We were over in the spice section. We didn't hear anything."
That's
and you could tell
terrible.
he was like, he had to talk about it. He was so bothered by whoever yelled at him or whatever was going on.
That's
He's like, "Yeah,
terrible.
everybody was so angry and we had to get all the baggers or extra people up here to bag for us. And it was just wild. Like everything went down and restarted."
And why do people get angry? Like, okay, I understand like being upset that yes, you planned on spending 20 minutes in here and now it's going to take 35, but like you can't yell at the people, you know?
Why do you get mad at the people that
Right.
didn't do anything?
Right.
Like it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Because he even said, "Didn't you see the lights flicker?" And we're both like, "No." So we must have been like
Yeah.
really into our shopping.
No
But we didn't
kidding.
see the lights flicker. We didn't see anything. And he said, "Oh man." I mean, he said it probably like 3 times. So it must have, he
Yeah.
must have gotten
Oh,
one of
I'm
the customers
sure.
that
I'm
was not
sure.
happy. Like, "I'm on my lunch" or
Yeah.
whatever. So
I heard this lady today, her and her husband are done checking out, and she's like, "Well, blah, 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 something about the Pepsi." And he's like, "Well, the vendor was like changing the sign. You know, I don't think she knew." And she's like, "She should know. She works here." And I was just
my
like, "Oh my
gosh.
God."
Oh my
like the
gosh.
cashier knows anything about the prices.
yeah. Oh
Like
my
that's what people have to
gosh.
understand. They think because you work in the store, you know everything about, you only know about your own department.
Yeah.
You know?
And we've always said this. Everyone should work retail, like
Yeah.
at probably a grocery store
Yeah.
or fast food for 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year. Every single
waitressing.
person. Yes. For 1
Waitressing,
year. Just
yeah.
1 year. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
Just 1 year. And then I think you'll understand
It's
a
like
little
some
more.
countries you have to go into the military after high school. We're going to make you be a waitress or a fast food worker or
Yeah.
a grocery store worker
Yes.
after high school.
1 year. That's all. And I think there'd be a little more understanding.
Yeah. Yeah. People are nuts.
Yeah. I was talking to my favorite Starbucks people today, and I said, "I feel like you're always here." And she said, "Well, this is my 9th day, and I have
Oh, God.
Thursday's my next day off, and then I work Friday through the holidays and then some." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
I don't miss that.
And she's like, "Yeah, I don't know what else to do. There's only like 3 of us."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wow."
I don't miss that at all.
Yeah, and they're not a real well, I don't know about the weekends, but they're not a real super busy Starbucks. Like if
Right.
I go in there, I usually go in there at 8:30 before I log in for work, and it's usually not too bad. But I'm sure
Yeah.
on Saturday and Sundays with everyone shopping, there's a
Crazy.
long line. But I've never really had to wait too long. I
No.
feel like they're almost faster than some of the other places that are used to being busy,
Right.
you know. So
Right.
anyway, so I was looking up these articles, doing some research, and I was looking up comments from like rude customers. But what kept coming up was how to handle these rude customers or how to improve your business so that you don't get rude. It was almost customer focused, which we all know the phrase, the customer is always right.
Unless they're wrong.
But I almost felt like a lot of the articles were kind of focused on the customer and how you're going to stop them from getting angry. For this one, it's called deputy.com. They were talking about why customers are unhappy. And they have 5 like bullet points: bad customer service, failed promises, not listening, inadequate customer service, and a bad day. So see how it's like customer focused?
Yeah.
Like, for example, the customer's going to get mad at you if there's bad customer service.
Right.
Okay, I think it could happen, based on the person's day. But I also feel like you'll receive bad customer service if you're giving it to them.
If you're a bitch, yeah.
If
I'm
you're,
going to be a bitch
you're
back.
bad to them.
I'm going to match attitudes.
It has happened to me before. I'm one of the nicest people. Like, I will walk up. As a matter of fact, I'll tell a story real quick. I ordered a cake for Julie on Thursday. And this, I'm going to say young kid, he was definitely, like less than half my age.
Yeah.
And he was mopping the bakery floor. And I said, do you know if your cake decorator has time to make a cake for Saturday? I am super late. I usually try to do it like Monday, Tuesday. I forgot. And he goes, oh yeah, she's got time. I said, okay, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. So he comes over and he's kind of fiddling around and he puts the paper down and he's like, okay, name. Like you could tell he was learning.
Wow.
He was learning, right? Like he was reading the page. And I worked in that department.
Yeah.
So I said, I spelled my name and my last name. And he's like, okay, what do you want to do? And he was so nice, and I, just knowing from working there, that like I knew how to, like, I almost know that page by heart, like what I want. So I was telling him what I want. And he started to spell congratulations and he put a D. Congratulations. So instead of like saying anything, I just typed it in my phone and I said, here, spell it like this. So she knows that we're not trying to spell it wrong. Like it's not a joke. And he was like, oh, thanks. He goes, I'm dumb. That's why I'm working here. I'm like, first of all, no, you're not dumb. You're doing great. You're I could tell he was nervous. I go, you're doing a great job. It's totally fine. We'll just make sure that it's right so that she doesn't have to call me.
Right.
Like I was almost like I was training him as a customer, So
You're
he's
like,
writing
trust
in,
me, bro.
Yeah, trust me, I'll help you. And he was just so nice. But then I got to thinking when I got into the car, if it wasn't me and that was the, what would have been the reaction of the customer?
Yeah.
Like if you don't know what you're doing,
you don't know how to spell it.
Yeah. So hopefully I made his night by, saying, don't worry, you're doing a great job. And
I always try to compliment people.
And we went through every line together. I said, it was so funny because I was just read everything after you're done, read it all through to the customer so that they know. I said, do I need to sign it? And he goes, no, not till after you pick it up. I said, perfect.
Yeah.
But back to bad customer service, him saying, oh, I'm just dumb. I don't know how to do that. Or I'm new here. Or this is, my second cake order or whatever it was, may have brought up someone to want to teach him a lesson.
Right.
Instead for me, I was just like, oh, I'll help you. It's no problem. I was super kind, all that kind of stuff. So don't you think it would be like, it would have someone take advantage of this new person?
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Long story for one bullet point. Let's go to the second one. Failed promises. Let me go look in the back and see what I can find.
Let me go scroll on Facebook for 3 minutes exactly. Let me text this person back.
I have to say that I used to order, like customers would come up and they would want cases. When I worked in grocery, they wanted cases of certain items.
Yeah.
There was a customer that he had a popcorn place up in Lake Geneva.
Yeah.
And some of his customers would come in wanting Hullis popcorn.
Yeah.
So he would actually just find it at Meijer, repackage it and sell it to his customers up there. Most of his sales were the popcorn he made, but sometimes he said people with dentures or people that maybe were missing teeth, they would want Hullis because it would get in there, or they had crowns.
Yeah.
So he explained all this to me. And so every week he would come in and pick up a couple cases. So I would have to go onto the computer and reach out to I guess it was like the warehouse. I can't remember. Yes. And say, I need, I would order four extra cases because I would put some on and then you would always have to order a little bit extra because people were going to run it to the floor. And how many times did that happen where you'd go and get the cases that you ordered and they already ran it to the floor? They never ran anything else to the floor except for the frickin' stuff that you ordered.
The stuff you need.
And then you were like, crap, you were trying to find a box for the customer. You were emptying the shelves. Okay, whatever. So one time he came in from Lake Geneva and someone had done that. They put everything out and I don't think the cases came. And he was very mad.
Yes.
He was like, I came all the way down here from Lake Geneva, which is like, 30 minutes maybe? So for those that don't know the area. And you don't have my cases. I've been doing this for weeks. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. I have your number. Should have told you. Forgot it was Thursday that you pick them up. I didn't know what else to say.
Yeah.
So failed promises and upset customer. And unfortunately, I think he never came back. But maybe he went to somewhere else. But
where else are you going to get it from?
Yeah.
Like
so
the best store ever.
That I can see. But
I think a lot of times, like, I would complain about one of my old store directors because he was a yes man.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
He would always say yes, no matter what. And it was like, why are you doing that? You know, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And then I would have to go tell the person, like, no. And they'd be like, well, he said yes. And I'm like, well, he was wrong. You know, I have to look like the asshole now.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, I hated that.
So the third bullet point is not listening.
We don't listen or the customer doesn't listen?
If the customer's mad, it's because we're not listening as the worker.
They don't listen.
I really didn't realize we were supposed to. I usually, when you get so good at your job, you can hear like the first 3 words and you pretty much know what the customer wants. So I don't really know what we would have to listen to.
Well, I think if like
I got an itch in my nose, and
I see that.
I know. I'm like,
I know
what
you're
the
making
hell?
my nose itchy.
I know. I'm sorry. I keep grabbing my nose. No, it's like a hair, or I don't know what it is, but I think it's a hair on the microphone. So every time I get close to it, it's like making my. I gotta like rub my nose on my microphone. Sorry. It's like itchy. It's so weird. Okay. Anyways, so go ahead.
So tell me how many times. Like you said, the first 3 words, you know what they were going to ask for, complain about, whatever. So you're just like, you disassociate while they're talking.
Yep. And you keep working.
And you're like thinking about something else. And you're just like, okay, let this lady get this story out. And like, because you already know how you're going to answer. You already know what is going to happen, whatever, you know. And, oh, yes, I'm so sorry about that. I will take care of that. And you just go back to doing what you're doing, you know?
Right.
I know I've told this story before, and it was when I took the complaint about myself on the phone.
Yeah.
And that was the most satisfying thing because I just pretended to be somebody else and said, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. We don't condone that activity. Whatever I said, you know, and I was just like, hang up, like, whatever, bitch, you know? Get back to my day.
I think my not listening was when they would complain about my team.
Yeah.
Like I was just over in the bakery or, you know, I was just over in the baking aisle, let's say, because around this time, baking is huge, right?
Yeah,
you got the extra shelves and everything. And they would say, you know, he's got his pallet of flour in the middle of the floor. You know, there's flour on the floor. There's blah, blah, blah. And it's like 9 o'clock at night. So this is a time for them to bring the pallets out and stock.
Yeah.
And I would walk over there and the pallet would be off to the side. Maybe a little flour, but it was like around the pallet.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just be like, hey, you know, let's just make sure there's no flour on the floor. I don't know what else to say.
Right.
Like, you're doing your job. I'm not going to say anything to someone that's stocking for me.
Yeah.
Ever. Stocking fast,
I feel like,
too.
And, okay, so, like, speaking about the flour on the floor, like, you take your life into your own hands every single day when you leave the house.
Yeah.
Even in your home, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need to be cautious. You need to watch where you're walking. You need, you know.
Yeah.
Just the other day, because like you said, it's baking season and I'm standing near this pallet of sugar and flour. And of course there's sugar and flour on the floor. Be aware of your fucking surroundings.
Yeah.
Like,
and we're not talking a lot. Obviously, if a whole 5-pound bag fell, we'd be clean. I'm talking like just a little bit from the bag or from the case. Or
for your foot to slip in, you know?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we could probably put a cone there.
I cannot believe how slippery flour is.
All right, this is true.
But be aware.
Yeah.
People are so unaware of their surroundings. And today I'm walking and this lady cuts me off, starts walking in front of me, and then stops. I wanted to ram my car into her. You know, I get it. Maybe you don't see well, maybe you don't hear well, but then you should definitely be aware of your surroundings, you know? Like, come on.
Well, I've told this story before too, that during the holiday seasons, I'd be pulling a pallet.
Oh yeah.
And someone would just, they would race you.
They would race in
they
front
would
of
race
you. Yeah.
So I would be real dramatic. I mean,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a heavy pallet. It was probably cereal,
Yeah.
or like rice cakes, super light. And I would be real dramatic and act like the thing was hitting me in the back,
Yeah.
like,
Oh my
and then I would
God.
just stare at them.
Jeez. Wish I didn't have to stop so suddenly. I feel bad because sometimes I get in front of the like soda vendors, like Coke and Pepsi.
Oh,
guys,
I do feel bad about
and
that.
I go, oh my God. And I like run really quick. And they always laugh at me because I'm super dramatic about it. But I'm like, I'm so sorry. I hate to make you guys stop that thing, like, it's heavy, I feel so bad.
So Steve and I have been doing a lot of shopping together. We didn't, but the past couple years we have shopped together.
Yeah.
Like we do things together.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'll make a list and we'll go together and we'll get this done in double the time because we each have to look at different things. It's not quicker. And I noticed that he has a habit of parking the cart anywhere. Wherever. Like his attention span, is a man.
Yeah.
So he will park it in the middle and then walk off to like go look at pickles or olives.
Oh my gosh.
And so, I'll be doing my own thing thinking he's in charge of the cart and I look over and someone's trying to get through and I'm like, sorry.
Oh God.
So the first couple times, in the beginning of this year, I'd be a little dramatic about it. And I'm like, Steve, the cart. And he just does it.
No.
So now I'm in charge of the cart.
Yeah. You can't let anybody else be in charge of the
Or he'll
cart.
park it in front of the back door, like the swinging back doors, and he's not doing it on purpose. He's not doing it on purpose. It truly is because he's like, well, no one's there. I'm going to park it there, and then I'm going to walk over here for 10 years and look at something.
For 10 years.
And then I hear and a couple times a lady or another customer would like bump it on accident, because they're looking one way too. So now I'm in charge of the cart pushing.
I just send my husband with a list I don't go with.
We do it together.
That's too much.
It's 2022. Everything gets done together as a couple, I guess.
I just lose my husband, and then I'm with an armful of stuff going, where is he? Where's the damn cart?
We actually do a very good job shopping. I don't know, we're getting better at it, so it's so funny. The next one's inadequate customer experience. So I think that kind of rolls into everything else that we were saying.
Nobody wants to work. You told everybody to get better jobs. They did. There ain't nobody left in the store.
Nobody left in retail.
Man, the stores that I work in now compared to where we met and worked at. And, I feel like when we started there, like labor was whatever. They weren't real strict about labor.
Yeah.
You had help. People were willing to do the job. I don't know why. I truly don't know why. I don't know why they settled for less 12 years ago.
Or what changed it, because I feel like everyone had pride in their work years ago.
Maybe something. But then it's like the people I work with now, like you said, they're working 9, 10, 11 days in a row. They can't hire anybody. Mm-hmm. They'll hire people. They'll show up to the training. They'll never come back.
Yep.
What is going on? Yeah. I don't know. And I always blame it on people don't want to work for $9 an hour. Mm-hmm. That's about minimum wage here in Illinois, Wisconsin, the Midwest. I think maybe it's up to 10 now, but I think it's only $9.75. But anyways, who can survive off of that? I can't.
I just read a meme before you came over that said, we're giving away these high hiring bonuses. $5,000 after the first month or after the first 90 days.
Right.
And the meme says, isn't that backwards?
Shouldn't
that be going to the people that have worked the 9 days?
The people that have been there for 10 years.
Yeah. Are we backwards right now?
When I left our place, I had been there for 10 years. And in that same 2 years maybe a year before, a year after, there was probably 6 employees that had been there for 10 plus years that said, I'm tired of getting treated like shit. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of people walking in making the same that I do now that took me 8 years to work up to.
Yep.
Like I said, they went and found better jobs. They took everybody's advice and they went and found better jobs. Some of them moved out of state and said, I'm out of Illinois, so.
Yeah, actually quite a few people moved out of state.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was cleaning out a drawer and it had a whole bunch of paperwork in. I still have a habit of keeping all papers. I don't know why. It's a bad habit. And once a year I'll clean out one drawer I'll pick. And I was looking through and it was an agreement of like one of my first
Oh, wow.
promotions.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember thinking years ago, wow, I'm making it big. Like, this is
At
great.
$13.50 an hour.
It was a 50-hour work week. And I signed that baby for $32,000 a year.
Oh my God.
I thought I was the shit. I'm like,
I'm going to go home and tell my husband I'm making the big bucks now.
I couldn't believe it. And
Isn't that insane?
And I don't have a very good memory. I just don't. And for some reason, I remember signing that, just so proud of myself.
Well,
like,
you know what?
Here we go.
That's not a bad thing to be proud of.
No, right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I was only like 3 months into the job. Yeah. And I was like, wow. But then I was like 50 hours a week. What is going on?
Wait, hold on. We got to do the math on that.
Well, I think 10 of the hours was considered overtime. That's how they paid.
Okay.
So, yeah. So you have to consider that as well. But
you still kind of got a bonus.
Yes.
So really, it was probably like $40,000 a year.
Yes, yeah.
But even still, that's crazy. That's so funny.
Yeah. So, but whatever. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So, and then the next one on this from WD.com, the last one actually is a bad day. Like, they're having a bad day.
Okay, that's not my problem, but that can go both ways.
Yeah, I guess this is more customer focused, so it would be the employee having a bad day, not the customer.
I feel like because we worked at a store and we shopped there, we have high expectations of that place, right? Because we know
that's true.
what was expected of us.
Mm-hmm.
We walk into other places and we think, and you said the other day, like, I just feel like when we worked at that place and this place is so much weirder and, why don't they understand it? And maybe they have different rules, but that's really weird. And so we have no idea what the expectations are. And I'm the same way, right? Like, I'm always like, I usually greet the cashier before they even have a chance to greet me.
Yes.
And I say, hey, how you doing today? And they go, oh, I'm good. How are you? I said, good, And then they'll ask me, did you find everything you were looking for? Blah, 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 blah. And then I just try to say, like, thanks for working, or, thanks for being here.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know what? You did great packing my groceries. I really appreciate that. Like, that, like, elates them when you tell them that, So, or a lot of times I'll be like, just throw it over here. I already put my card in, so I'll bag it. And they're like, well, I won't argue with that, you know? So it's little tiny things where even if I'm having a bad day, I refuse to take it out on somebody else. And I understand if you're a cashier and you're having a bad day, but you cannot take that out on other people. That's not their problem.
I remember what I texted you. So I was in line at the customer service desk at another. So, I always think that every company should be the same when it comes to retail, but not all companies are the same.
Obviously.
They train differently. It depends on the people, like you were just saying.
Right.
So I'm standing in line at the customer service, and there's a customer in front of me, and she has her receipt. And she's holding it up to the customer service person.
Yeah.
And she says, I bought this on the wrong credit card. I need, what I'm needing is for you to return it and then repurchase it with this card.
Yeah.
And I know that the customer kind of stumbled a little bit like on what she was saying. And the person behind the customer service desk just looked at her and she was like, well, where's your items? And she's like, no, the items we already ate. Like, they're done. I realized that it was the wrong card.
I used the wrong card. Yeah.
And she kept staring at her and she was like, I can't return your items.
Why not?
Without the items.
Why
she
not?
Goes, and it was almost like accusatory. She's like, you already ate them. I can't return them. She goes, no. I'm not trying to steal anything. I'm just needing you to help me repurchase them on this credit card.
Was only hearing what they wanted to hear.
Yeah. They were just picking out the words.
To return, and she doesn't even have the items.
Yeah.
Does she think I'm stupid?
Yeah.
Well, now we think you're stupid because you're not listening. Just return it and repurchase. It's not a big deal.
She's like, do you have the chicken? Not from a week ago.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, it kind of went on for a little bit where I almost was like, catching myself stepping forward, like, you just got to type in the UPC numbers. The receipt was not that long.
I have a hard time with that.
Yeah, and I'm just starting to sweat, like, let me step in, but I didn't. I was just like, whatever. And then she called somebody else over, And the lady immediately knew what was going on. She's like, no problem. You know what? Let's go over to a cash register. I can do it a lot faster there. And then you can help with the next person.
And how are you going to work customer service if you don't know how to do something as simple as return and repurchase?
Right. I mean, again, don't know the situation. That could have been her second day. We don't know, right? I mean,
but if you're at
seems like I've seen her the past few years, so I'm not sure, but she just wasn't getting it.
Everybody should have the same standards that we did. Right.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
The place we worked at, you didn't go to customer service until you were very good at cashiering.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
It was a privilege.
You knew the ins and outs of everything that happened in that front.
Yeah. It was a privilege to go up to the service desk.
Yep.
You are the face of the company now.
Yep.
You are generally either the first or last person everybody who goes to that store sees. Well, most of them.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. So I feel like there's no excuse for her to not understand what the situation was.
Right.
We would never allow that.
I just thought it was wild. So the next one I have is from cheeseburger.com, and cheese is spelled with a Z.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, cheeseburger.com. Of course, we'll post all about this.
I think all of our listeners are too young to know. Cheeseburger.
Probably.
Google it.
This is 17 rude comments from customers. And the reason why I liked this article is because they were quick. I was looking up other ones. They were long stories.
Yeah.
Like, this is just quick and to the point. Like, one of the first ones says, I once had a woman tell me to pick up the pace when I was bagging her groceries.
I'll fucking put your eggs right on the bottom and throw canned goods right in there.
I just don't understand the comments. Like, I remember cashiering once and a woman says, what are you smiling about? You're cashiering.
Oh, you fucking
like,
bitch.
That's how she said hello to me. That's
your
how she
life
greeted
should
me.
be miserable because you are beneath me.
What are you so happy about? You're working retail.
What about the doctor one?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never forget that one. I just posted about that one.
Yeah.
So a lady walked up and I said, hi, ma'am, did you find everything okay? And she said, well, actually, you can call me doctor. I believe I earned it.
Shut up.
Said, and I believe that I can see that you found everything okay, ma'am.
Jeez.
Like, I was not going to call her doctor.
Who the fuck are you? Nobody
it was
cares.
The oddest conversation ever. Like, you're going to greet me with doctor because I earned it. You're not my doctor.
Do you think she just earned her doctorate?
I don't know. Or she didn't like that I called her ma'am. But
I hate being called
me
ma'am.
too, because we're in that age where we shouldn't be. A lot of people still call me miss, and I appreciate that, but I think sometimes they do it on purpose.
I'm like I don't want to wear my wedding ring because I feel like they call me ma'am because I'm married.
Oh, and maybe that's
I'm
what
the
it
age
is.
I am, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, you're definitely a ma'am. And I'm like, I'm old.
I guess, well, and I also learned that you just don't say any nicknames. Like, I probably should have just said, did you find everything you were looking for?
Yeah.
And ended it there.
I remember because I
think we had a class
I think
like
I talked
that.
about this before, but I had a bunch of older women at a table that I was waitressing.
Yeah.
And I would always refer to everybody as guys. Hey, guys, how you doing
Oh,
today?
yeah, right, just to have it.
No.
Yeah.
We are not guys. And I was like, hi. I don't know what to call you. Hey, old biddies.
Yeah.
Is your soup hot enough?
Yeah, I guess I remember taking a class that said you just don't use any type of
You can't. And especially this day and age.
Right.
You can't assume anybody's gender nowadays. So.
And assume anything, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like saying ma'am.
Yeah.
But yes, I remember. I will never forget.
Ma'am. Do you remember that one video? It's ma'am. And it was clearly questionable. It was clearly questionable.
Oh, gosh. Are we even allowed to say that on here anymore?
No.
Everybody's shutting us off.
Shut up. Stop it. I'm terrible. This is why we can't get any sponsors.
So have you seen the new Sebastian Maniscalco?
No, who is that?
He is an Italian comedian. And he's
Sebastian. Okay.
He's frickin' hilarious. And he does a skit, an hour-long, whatever you call it, stand-up in Vegas. And that's a lot of what he talks about.
Oh, no.
Like, why is there so many different? And actually, some of it I didn't laugh at, so don't think I'm a bad person. I didn't really laugh at it. I was like, oh, man, that's really getting kind of, But,
okay, that is a comedian's job, is to live on the edge and make fun of everything.
Yeah, this is why we are here as well. Like, he said that in his daughter's class, a child had decided that he was a lion. and he was going to be called Rory.
Have you seen the new trend?
He identified as a lion.
The new trend on TikTok where you pretend run like you're a wolf, a pack of wolves with your friends.
So they identify as wolves?
Wolves.
Yeah, we're wild and crazy. This world's wild and crazy.
I don't want to.
This is why volcanoes are erupting everywhere.
This is why we have a climate crisis. And I'm so tiptoey, like.
No, I am too.
On one
definitely
hand,
respect
I
whatever.
don't want to offend anybody, right? Like, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, I could give two shits.
Right.
But on the other hand, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I know.
What happened that led them to that?
Right.
Is it they didn't get enough attention as a kid, and they found out if I act this way, I get attention, you know? So, I don't know. Let's leave it alone now.
Yeah, let's. That was good. Did we dig our own grave and then bury ourselves? Like that meme with the lady with the shovel burying herself? Oh, gosh. So the next one says, I'm a server. Once a rude customer told me if you lost weight, you'd be able to carry our food out faster.
Oh, God. I'll fucking eat your food right in front of you. And then lie and say, I don't know what happened to it.
Can you even imagine? This next one says, a customer asked me if I can even afford the food that I sell at the store.
Clearly not. That's why I'm selling it.
That's why I'm working.
I'm in debt because I bought this food and now I have to sell it for twice as much as I paid for it.
I was working in grocery once, again, around the holidays, baking aisle. And flour and sugar on my pants, black pants. I always wore black pants.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was the end of the night. I was an absolute mess. And he said, and he looked at me and he said, those are the best pants you could wear today?
Oh, my God.
And I was so exhausted because I think it was a double shift because someone didn't show up and I had to go in the morning. And I just remember looking over at him and I'm like, is he speaking to me right now? Like, because I was about ready to go off.
I feel like in his defense, I've seen some pretty nasty people working. But
I'm not nasty.
You're not nasty.
Like the hair and makeup was done. The pants were just
I imagine
a mess.
You were probably working very hard and your hair was probably not in the best.
My hair's never in the best, but at least there's an effort there every day.
I just imagine you're like all sweaty. Your hair is like crazy. You're covered in sugar and flour. And that guy says it to you and you're just like, I'm going to blow this place up. I'm going to set this whole place on fire.
Oh, God. Anyways, the next one said, someone yelled at them saying, you are meant to serve me. And me is in caps because they were yelling.
I hate that.
Oh.
You are not that important. Nobody is that important.
Yeah.
I had these two old ladies, okay? Oh, my God, this is a funny story. So I come around the corner. And one of the old ladies is in one of those Mart carts.
Yeah.
And then they might have been twins in like at least in their 80s, right? So the one's in the Mart cart, the one has a cart, and they're sitting there arguing. Okay. But it's like the one is in front and then the lady with the cart is behind her. And so they're arguing to like each other's backs. Like they're not even looking at each other, right? So I'm like, I'm just going to park here for a second and see how this unfolds, right? So the lady with the push cart, not the one in the Mart cart, turns around because she was like, well, come back this way, you know. So now the lady has to do a 14-point turn to get the
14-point
to get the Mart cart turned around. And the other lady swings around and sees me standing there and she goes, oh, I'm sorry. You're so patient. And I said, oh, there's no reason not to be. She goes, well, all these other people in here. And I said, well, let them have a bad day. We're not going to let it ruin ours, are we?
Good.
You know, and she just walked away like, tell my sister that I'm right, you know, like tired of arguing with her.
If you see my sister, tell her I said.
And then the lady's still trying to turn around.
Those things don't corner like they're on rails.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
And why do they always run out of battery?
I don't know.
When someone's in the back of the store.
Always.
Why is that?
And then you got to drag it.
Oh, you got
to
drag it to the front to plug it in.
You know, one of the stores I went to, they kept them plugged in the back. So if you wanted one, you had to go up to customer service and say, I need a Mart cart. Somebody would go get it and bring it up for you. I think it was a pretty bad neighborhood and like they kept them back there. Otherwise people.
Oh, shoot. Perfect.
But it was nice because if it died in the back, at least you were already
there. Yeah. This next one says, I asked a guy if there was anything he wanted, and he replied, yeah, if you want to come home with me.
Sick.
Ugh.
Nobody ever wants to go home with you.
Never. Although there were a couple cute people
but
that I
they never
saw.
asked me to go home with them. We had that one guy that looked like, what the hell is his name from Walking Dead? Negan. Oh, there's a guy that came in that looked just like Negan. And me and the other girl were in love with Negan on The Walking Dead. And she would call me and be like, Negan's here. And I'm like, no way, where is he? He was so cute. I went home with him.
So I worked at a trucking company years and years and years and many years ago. And there was someone that came in who was just, to me, he was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't happen often, probably never. Maybe when I met my husband. Because I don't know if he listens. And the guy walked in and my cheeks turned red.
Oh, God.
Like I was like, woo.
That's the worst.
Like he looked like he came out of like a romance novel.
Yes.
And I mean, the hair was blowing.
He was Fabio.
He was in a tank top and it was like 30 below out because he was so hot. And I was like, well, hello. And then I found out that he was a repo guy.
Oh, God.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his truck was in the shop. So he ran to the bathroom. I thought he ran to the bathroom. And I said to the person sitting next to me,
no.
Oh my God, he's so cute, but he's a repo guy?
Why? What's wrong with that?
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking back then. I was young and stupid.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I had no idea. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I said. I was just being stupid. And he didn't go to the bathroom.
Oh,
he came back out and he goes, what's wrong with picking up cars that people don't pay for?
And you're like, shoot me now.
I was like, oh.
I would have been like, just take me home and let me make it up to you. I'll cook you dinner.
Oh God, I just felt so embarrassed.
I'm
so
crying right now.
dumb.
That's so funny.
All right, so can we talk about everyone that wants to comment on life choices? Because this one reminds me of this.
Okay.
A patron at my shop said, you'll regret getting your neck tattooed. You look like a criminal. Can we talk about that? I've had so many people mention like, you know, about their nose ring or a tattoo on their neck or tattoo on their hand. What makes customers, patrons think that they can comment on our life choices?
I don't know. This is going to sound really bad.
Oh,
but
God. We're in a
was,
lot of trouble with this episode.
I thought it was funny at the time, only because there is somebody that lives in my neighborhood, and he has a very offensive neck tattoo. And one of the other neighbors was like, man, what happened to him as a kid? You know?
Yes.
Like, what sort of trauma did he go through that he decided to get a very offensive neck tattoo? You can't hide that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to get something real offensive, like put it where like your shorts will cover it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
So you know it's there and you can be like, fuck you to the person you're talking to without
having
it
them
just
see
being
it
on your neck.
Oh.
But I mean, I think neck tattoos are sexy sometimes, but they got to be good, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, of course.
You can't just have a bunch of prison tattoos on your neck and like, yeah, people are going to judge you.
Yeah. I don't know. But
I
why?
don't, but I don't, you know, I don't know.
I guess I just don't judge anyone. I don't go and look at someone and be, you know, I
We
just
don't care.
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
It's not me.
The only thing that offends me is if someone smells.
Yes.
Then I will like, whew, like I'll have to
Yes.
like breathe out loud or like walk away. That is truly the only thing. I don't care what you have on your body, what you're wearing, what outfit you're wearing,
Yeah.
how high your heels
How many
are,
piercings
how
you
many
have.
piercings you have, you know, what
Yeah.
kind of face tattoo or a
Look
teardrop
at
because
Post
you just
Malone.
got out of jail.
Very successful.
Don't care. I don't even see that. I just like his music, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to
I
me.
know.
So for someone to say something to someone that they don't know, what makes that okay?
You know, and I think we can all agree that artistic people are very cool, right? Like artistic people are always like the chillest, coolest people ever. And I always think people with lots of tattoos are very artistic. So why wouldn't you want to get to know that person, you know?
Yes, I agree.
No.
That's
no
all I
more on
got.
there?
I didn't like all the rest of them.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That's it?
Yeah.
We don't have any more stories for anybody?
Nope. Hold
What
on.
else happened? I got a puppy.
Tell us about Little Nicky.
Little Nicky.
Tell us all about it.
He's so
Give
cute.
all the details, please.
So me and Johnny both feel terrible when we leave for work in the morning because, we leave him alone and then he cries in his little crate. And I just drive to work I hope he quit crying. But I say it's not just our dog, it's the whole neighborhood's dog, right? Because we got the neighbors coming over to help. Aww. We got the brother-in-law and sister-in-law coming to help. So everybody gets to enjoy the new puppy. And it's phenomenal.
What does he look like?
His mom is a black lab mix and his dad is a black German shepherd. So he's black and he's cute. And his eyes were gray at Thanksgiving, and now they're kind of turning brown. I was kind of hoping they would go gold.
Oh, yeah.
Because how cool would he be black with gold eyes? Yeah. Oh, it would be so
And there's
awesome.
Is he full black fur?
He's got on his chest.
Like a little patch? Sometimes the mutts do. They have that little patch.
Yeah.
Nothing on the paws?
Nothing on the paws. So we also brought home a puppy because we had to go to Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and pick the little Nicky up from my stepbrother, Tyler. Hi, Tyler. Hi, Kendra. And we also picked up another puppy from the litter for my stepdaughter, Steffi. Yes. So she got one too. And Ingrid is her puppy's name. I love it so much. She told me and I was like, oh my God, I love that name so much. And she has on her paws, it's like gray hair between her toes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what she looks like when she grows up too. So
do they usually keep, if they have as puppies, if they have a white spot on their chest or the color fur in between their paws, does that usually stay?
Yeah, I think so.
It's pigments, it's their skin, right?
So I learned a long time ago, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm one of those people that I learn it once, it's in my head. I make fun of my husband because I say he thinks science never changes. If he heard it once, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
It never changes, even though we learn new things every day. But I remember hearing a long time ago about kittens. It wasn't about dogs. They were talking about kittens. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it's basically like a printer, right? So when the babies are forming and their fur is growing or whatever you want to call it, the colors are dictated by the mom and dad, right? So a lot of times you'll see a dog or a cat that have white paws, and it's like the pigment ran out by the time it got down to their paws. It's like a printer running out of ink and then just printing blank,
Oh, interesting.
So that's a lot of times on the chest, right? Because we know as we form in the womb, our chest kind of comes together. So it's like it grows together and then, it ran out of ink. So it just printed white. So I don't know if that's true.
We're going to go with that's true.
Yeah. So
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that theory.
Hello ran out of ink right there.
Aww.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Well, welcome home, little Nicky and I took little Ingrid.
Ingrid, she's so cute. And she's a little spitfire too. She was tumbling around with little Nicky and taking him down. I was like, yeah, bitch, get him, But today I did a Snapchat of Nicky on a bed, a dog bed that he takes up not even a fourth of right now. And I said, we're going to visit this in a year and see if he takes up that whole dog bed then,
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Tell us
excited.
about the crate. Does he stay in it?
No. The first night we had him, he cried and cried and cried and cried. And like I said, I had a puppy in 4th grade. I don't even remember what happened with those puppies. So the next day I felt so terrible. And that was a weekend. So we were home all day the next day. And I started Googling and it was should I let puppy cry it out in the crate? And they said no, because it can give him anxiety and separation anxiety and all this. And I was like, we do not want him like that, right? So the second night is Sunday night. I put him in his crate. I try to do the same bedtime routine. I put him in his crate and he's just crying. And I'm like, okay, I give him 20 minutes. If he doesn't stop after 20 minutes, I have to go take him outside and go pee, right? Yesterday, I got home at 4:30. Between 4:30 and 7:30, I took him out 7 times and he peed every single time.
Oh, wow.
He has the bladder the size of a peanut right now. So I got up and I took him out and he actually went poop. So I was like, oh, thank God I took him out, So we have a double recliner.
Yeah.
I picked up the crate. I put him in there. The only way he would stop crying is if my hand was touching it.
Oh, my God.
So I laid in the other recliner with my arm over.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
just slept like that all night. So then last night I told Johnny, I was like, we can't do this. I can't live sleeping on the couch. Then I Googled it, like, how long until they sleep through the night, and they're like 16 weeks. I'm like, we have another 8 weeks of this. Like, I can't do it, you know? So I said, you know, what do you think about him sleeping in the bed? And Johnny's like, yeah, I don't care. Johnny loves the dogs up in the bed. I'm not a fan of it, but he's just so little right now.
Yeah.
So last night was good. He laid down with us. He was a little crazy at first, like biting our ears and our noses and my hair and everything. And I just like, lay down, you know. So he slept. He only woke me up once at midnight. I took him out to go pee real quick. And then Johnny got up for work. He woke up shortly after that. And I just like handed him to Johnny and went back to bed for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
good.
He did good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
He's getting there.
Yeah.
And how big are his paws? Like, is he going to be a big
he's
puppy?
Gonna be a big boy.
Yeah. I kind of noticed that. I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
But in your Snapchats, it seems like he has big paws.
He's got some pretty big paws. I mean, they're not like the size of my palm, but you can tell compared to his body size, his foot size is big.
Yeah.
He's going to be a big boy. And he's bigger than his sister, that Steffi has.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aw, very fun.
Yeah. I think
wonder
Johnny
how
was
many-
right. We should have called him Trouble.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. We got back to our retail roots.
I hope you're almost done with your Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
You should be done with your Christmas shopping. You
I
should
am
be wrapping.
done.
You should be wrapping
I am
now.
wrapping.
Yeah. I saw
So
your
you
little
know I hate
station.
it.
Yeah.
I hate wrapping.
Yeah.
But because I was home yesterday, took the day off because of aches and pains, I decided to do some wrapping. So that really, I'm usually doing it on Christmas Eve. I hate wrapping.
I hate wrapping.
So now I
too.
feel like I'm really ahead. Yeah.
I'm a little bit ahead, but I still have some more stuff to wrap.
I just got a bunch of stuff from Amazon today, so I got to wrap that.
Yeah. I got Johnny's stuff wrapped right away and under the tree so that way he can't peek.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's good.
And then I noticed I got a big box. And I was like, Johnny, what's this? I'm standing next to the Christmas tree. Like I said, my Christmas tree is upstairs, you know? And we have like an open den up there. And I'm like, what's this big box? And he's looking to the left and looking to the right and looking to the left. What are you talking about? What this big box that's right in front of the railing. Like you can see it through the railing. I don't know what. I don't even see it. He's so
that's
silly.
great.
So silly.
Oh, that's
So
exciting.
I have no idea what I'm getting, but it's a pretty large box.
He does
it's a
good.
skinny box.
Every year
it's
he
tall.
does
Yeah,
good.
yeah, he does.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I
All
know.
right, well, go finish your Christmas shopping
Yes.
or whatever kind of shopping you do, holiday shopping.
If you're listening, then you probably should be done ordering on Amazon. I'm gonna say.
Oh, yeah, you're kind of
Don't
really,
be pushing it.
really
Don't be
close.
pushing it. Don't ruin it
Finish
for
your wrapping,
everybody.
and then we'll talk to you next week.
See ya.
Bye. This podcast is brought to you by Nametag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. Keyboards, written and performed by my daughter Julia. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.